Hi guys, I am Genesis. I will be your virtual guide in exploring the basics of Python, using its idle shell. But first, we will know, what is Python? We are not talking about Python the snake, although they have the same name. Python that we are talking about is a high-level interpreted programming language known for its readability and ease of use. Created by Guido van Rossum and first released in 1991, that used now by popular platforms like Google, Instagram, Reddit, Shopify, and more. Because of its versatility, simplicity, compatibility, and libraries and frameworks, and more, Python become a popular choice for both beginners and experienced developers across many fields. Python also have an IDLE designed to it, which is Python Integrated Development and Learning Environment Shell. It is an integrated development environment that comes bundled with the standard Python distribution. It provides a simple and user-friendly interface for writing, testing, and debugging Python code. Woo! That was a long explanation. But now we will move to the real thing of this video, which is the Python's basics. Python syntax refers to the set of rules that define how you write Python programs. Some of the key syntax for Python are indentation, variables, and comments. First, we should talk about indentations. Indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of a code line, where in other programming languages the indentation in code is for readability only. The indentation in Python is very important as Python uses it to indicate a block of code. Here is the sample image why indentation is important. Syntax error will occur when indentation is not right. Variables. Variables are containers for storing data values. Python does not have a command for declaring a variable. It is first created when you assign a value to it. Here are the sample while we are applying it in our IDLE shell. We have variable x and y, while variable x has a value of 1, while variable y contains 2. If we tend to print the certain variable, the assigned value to it will be printed. X prints 1 and y prints 2. As it was the value they are containing. Comments! Comments can be used to explain Python code. It can be used to make the code more readable. It also can be used to prevent execution when testing code. Here is the demonstration for you. Comments starts with a hashtag and Python will ignore them. As seen in the video, the IDLE shell ignores the comment I just made. Here is another sample where comment is line with print function. Aside from hashtag, triple quotes can also be used for a comment that requires more than one lines, also known as multi-lines comments, so that hashtag won't be repeated per line. Woo! That was a long segment for syntax. But remember, the syntax we talk about is very, very important to avoid errors that, will make us cry. Ha 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 ha! Now, we must proceed to Python data types. Data types are fundamental building block programming languages, providing a structured way to work with and manipulate data within a program. Understanding data types is essential for writing effective and correct programs. Here is a sample demonstration just for you. We will determine the data type of the value that x is holding. As we all know, it is an integer, so we expect the result to be an int. What an educational tour in the world of data types. I am sure that, as of now, all of you have a knowledge about some basics of Python. But wait, we will have now our final tour for the basics. I will lead all of you to the Python basics, the operations. Operators are special symbols that perform operations on variables and values. They are used to perform arithmetic operations, assignment operations, comparison operations, logical operations, bitwise operations, and now we will put everything into details to understand each of them easily. Are you ready? Let's go! First, arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are essential tools in Python for performing mathematical computations. They allow you to manipulate numerical data within your code. Let's explore it in code. We'll perform first addition, which we all know will give us the sum of two values. Next is subtraction, which shows the difference between two values given. Then, multiplication to find the product, followed by division to get the quotient. Next is modulus, which is finding the remainder of two values. Second to the last is exponentiation, which is raising a number to a power. Lastly is floor division, which divides and returns the largest whole number as the result. That is, arithmetic operations. Assignment operators in Python are used to assign values to variables and can be quite handy for concise code. They combine the assignment, JAS, operator with arithmetic or other operators. Here is the demonstration. Assignment. The most basic assignment operator, it assigns the value on the right to the variable on the left. Add and assign adds the value on the right to the variable on the left and assigns the sum back to the variable. Subtract and assign, which subtracts the value on the right from the variable on the left and assigns the difference back to the variable. Multiply and assign, who multiplies the variable on the left by the value on the right and assigns the product back to the variable. Divide and assign, which divides the variable on the left by the value on the right and assigns the result, in float form, back to the variable. Performs floor division on the variable on the left by the value on the right and assigns the quotient, integer result, back to the variable. Modulus and assign, that calculates the remainder after dividing the variable on the left by the value on the right and assigns the remainder back to the variable. Exponentiate and assign, which raises the variable on the left to the power of the value on the right and assigns the result back to the variable. Comparison operators in Python, also sometimes called relational operators, are fundamental for making conditional statements in your code. They compare the values of two operands and return either true or false based on the comparison. Let's explore its mystery through coding. Our x has the value of 5, and y has the value of 10. Now let's check the operators. Equal to checks if the two values are equal to each other. In the shell, the output is correct. Not equal to checks if two values are not equal as usual. That is our expected output. Greater than checks if the left operand is greater than the right operand. Less than of equal to checks if the left operand is less than or equal to the right operand. That's correct. Less than checks if the left operand is less than to the right operand. The answer is correct. Greater than or equal to checks if the left operand is greater than or equal to the right operand. That's all for comparison. Are all of you still catching up? Don't worry, we are near to the end of learning the basics. Isn't it fun to hear? Okay, without wasting any time, we will now go to the final two. Let's go! Logical operators in Python are used to combine conditional expressions and evaluate them as a single truth value. They are essential for creating complex conditional statements in your code. Don't worry, this lesson will be useful for you in the future, especially in circuits. Here is the demonstration to further understand. We will be using a as variable to hold true value and b as false. Let's try. And logical operators, returns. True only if both operands or conditions are true. The output is right. Or logical, in the other hand, returns true if at least one of the operands is true. Output is correct. Lastly is not logical operator, which means it inverts the truth value of a single operand. And that is logical operators. Lastly is bitwise operators. Bitwise operators in Python are a powerful tool for manipulating data at the most fundamental level, the level of individual bits. They operate on integers by converting them to binary format and performing operations on the corresponding bits. Here is short application to know its workings. First among all is signed right shift. Shifts all bits in the operand to the right by the number of bits specified by the second operand. Left shift, on the other hand, shifts all bits in the operand to the left by the number of bits specified by the second operand. A bitwise NOT operation on a single operand. Inverts each bit of the operand. 0 becomes 1 and 1 becomes 0. Bitwise XOR performs a bitwise XOR, exclusive OR operation on each corresponding bit of the operands. The result for each bit position is 1 if the bits are different. 1 is 0 and the other is 1, otherwise 0. Bitwise OR performs a bitwise OR operation on each corresponding bit of the operands. The result for each bit position is 1, if at least one bit in that position is 1, otherwise 0. Bitwise and performs a bitwise AND operation on each corresponding bit of the operands. The result for each bit position is 1, only if both bits in that position are 1, otherwise 0. Hoo-hoo! That was a long run of exploring the basics. But what they always say, a long road of exploring will give you the best prize in life, may not be physically, but in other aspect. We explore about syntax, data types, and operators, which surely be beneficial for you, my friends. I am Genesis, and it's been a great day exploring the basics of Python with you. Till next time, Code Fighters. If you want to learn more about Python and other languages, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to always get the latest.